When we look at a forest, or even our own hands, we assume we're seeing the whole picture. But our eyes are physically incapable of seeing the most active layer of our world. We remained unaware of this layer until the 17th century, when scientists Robert Hooke and Antony van Leeuwenhoek began grinding specialized glass lenses to see what was happening beneath the surface. Looking at a sliver of cork, Hooke found that it wasn't a solid mass, but a grid of empty, geometric rooms he called cells. Soon after, Leeuwenhoek looked at a single drop of water and found it swarming with tiny, moving organisms. These early lenses didn't just magnify objects, they revealed that our reality is supported by a hidden, hyperactive dimension. Think of a skyscraper. It isn't a single poured block of stone, it's an assembly of thousands of individual bricks and beams. Biology uses the same modular logic. This comparison shows that the layout of a brick wall is nearly identical to the structure of human cheek cells and onion cells. Whether it's a person or a plant, the construction material is the same. We are massive structures built by a workforce of trillions. We rarely see them, yet every second of our lives depends on their labor. To understand how this works, we have to look at the cell not as a unit, but as a functioning factory floor. The outer membrane acts as security, regulating what enters and leaves. Inside, the actual work happens within the fluid cytoplasm. At the center is the nucleus, the factory's control room, where DNA blueprints are kept and cellular labor is directed. But the workforce isn't uniform. A cell's physical shape is dictated by the specific job it has to perform. We can see that contrast here. A nerve cell is long and branched like a wire to carry signals across the body, while a muscle cell is spindle-shaped and bundled so it can physically contract and pull. These specialized workers group together into tissues, which then combine into organs like the stomach. Eventually, these organs interlock to form the complete systems that keep us alive. Everything we experience, from a single thought to the movement of a finger, is the macro result of billions of these specialists working in unison. While our own cells work for us, there is a second workforce of independent microbes that live entirely on their own in the wild. This grid classifies them into 4 major groups: protozoa, algae, fungi, and bacteria. Each has a distinct appearance and a specific role in the global environment. They are the ultimate environmental engineers. They can survive in conditions that would kill most other life, from freezing glaciers to boiling geothermal springs. Their most vital job is recycling. They disassemble dead organic matter and convert it back into a nutrient-rich soil that new plants can use to grow. Without these microscopic recyclers, the Earth's surface would be buried under dead material, and the cycle of life would simply stop. However, there is one group that breaks all these rules. Viruses exist on the edge between the living and the non-living. A virus has no internal workforce of its own. As this diagram shows, it is essentially an inert capsule of code that remains dead until it can hijack a living cell's factory to replicate itself. When a single set of hijacked instructions can force a massive trillion-cell organism to prioritize its own destruction over its survival, it reveals how thin the line is between a functioning system and a total collapse. We didn't just discover these microbes, we learned to domesticate them. Much of human agriculture is built on this partnership. For thousands of years, bakers used yeast, a single-celled fungus, to consume sugar and release carbon dioxide gas, making bread dough rise. We also use bacteria, like lactobacillus. Multiplying in milk, they produce the lactic acid that transforms liquid into solid yogurt. Basic cooking is effectively applied microbiology, the careful management of an invisible workforce to process our food. As we look toward long-term space travel, this partnership will become our primary means of survival in environments where traditional farming is impossible. Spirulina algae is a key candidate. It's incredibly efficient, producing a crop that is over 60% protein, while requiring only a fraction of the space and water needed for traditional agriculture. Modern space agencies are already processing these types of microscopic nutrients into the concentrated pouches used by astronauts today. This split screen illustrates that the visible world isn't separate from the microscopic one. Every person, every tree, and every piece of food we eat are effectively the finished products of a massive, hidden infrastructure that never stops laboring.